Give us your winners from the first round.
My winners from the first round are, believe it, from the same division, and that's the Giants and the Cowboys. The Giants, and I think Dave Gettleman did a good job by moving back from 11 to 20, although he fooled a bunch of y'all believing that he would never move back. But he moved back.
He
He
loves
picked up
messing with the media.
Kadarius Toney, a receiver out of Florida. That was great for him because he was probably targeting a skill position player like a Waddle or Devontae Smith the entire time. But when those guys were not available to him, he said, let me get out of there because I see the way this thing is going. I'll pick up some extra draft capital. Later on, boom. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. They were targeting 2 cornerbacks the entire time, and J.C. Horn along with Patrick Surtain Jr. Denver Broncos took that from them. So at 9, and now they said to themselves, well, why are we going to sit here? Let's just move out of there. But they pick up a great defensive player later on in the draft in the kid out, Michael Parsons out of Penn State, gives them that edge rushing defender, linebacker, can put his hand on the ground as well as stand up, and they can get a corner in the later rounds.
Jay, your winners.
So I would definitely start with the Chicago Bears. I mean, it's Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace on life support. You don't think they're going to make it through the night, and all of a sudden they're back running, 4 threes in the 40-yard dash. The next day, you're like, how the hell did this
was the
happen?
Undertaker, wasn't it?
Yeah, how did this happen? And Justin Fields, a guy, look, I'm an Ohio State football fan, watching him, hearing a lot of experts talk about him, seeing how his name and his status were starting to become debased throughout the draft, and people weren't as high on him, even though certain experts had him as a second-rate quarterback. Seeing him go to Chicago.
Did, right?
Yes, Matt Miller did. Perfect scenario. Patriots, Bill Belichick, didn't have to move. Didn't have to move at all for Mac Jones.
And got their guy.
They got their guy.
Okay.
It fell right to their pocket. A guy that can go play behind Cam. I don't know about him and Jarrett Stidham competing. That was an interesting statement, but it is what it is. And then the Eagles. Look, Devontae Smith, you don't allow the Giants to have a guy like that. As a Giants fan, when I saw Penny Sewell go off the board, I was like, all right, Devontae Smith, he's our guy. We're going to get him. It's going to be perfect. Over the top. Take it over the top every single time. I like the move by Howie Roseman, trading up to get a guy like Devontae Smith. Smart.
All right, those are the winners. Now we move on to, there's always going to be a loser in this. So in the first round, Keyshawn, who are your losers?
The Raiders to start with. I have no idea what John Gruden and Mike Mayock did getting Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama from the left tackle position.
Alabama lineman, though.
I know, and I get it.
Usually do well.
They took Colton Miller out of UCLA a couple years ago, which was a little bit of a head scratcher, but he turned out to be a solid pro. He's also got big contract extension. He's their starting left tackle. So I'm like, they got a guy that potentially could have gone in the late second to third round.
Yeah, he was about 72 on the big board.
So
Say it again, 72?
Yeah, 72.
So I'm happy for him and his family. They made a ton of money yesterday based on the projections.
Yeah, he wasn't a loser.
Oh, no.
He was the biggest winner.
He wasn't a loser, although he had no idea that the phone call was the real phone call. You could tell by his expression.
Somebody was pranking him?
Somebody's punking me right now.
He told his mother,
or
the young lady sitting next to him, she was trying to get up and hug. He was like, get away from me. This isn't real.
This is an oversight.
So you talk about that.
Punked.
Then you look at the Washington football team. I thought they should have went more offense, tried to get some maybe a quarterback or something from an offensive standpoint to give them some more firepower, because defensively I thought they were set. Although you have 2 defensive-minded guys and Jack Del Rio, defensive coordinator, and Ron Rivera. They drafted the kid out of Kentucky, Davis, the linebacker, who only had 1 solid year. So there's not a lot of film and tape on him. He's a runaround guy, high-energy guy, makes a lot of defensive plays. He showed flashes that he could potentially be really good, but I just think that they probably should have gone offense.
And Washington went 5 straight years now with a defensive player.
Yeah, I would agree with Key on the Raiders. Another team that I guess Drew Lock is their guy. Until he's not their guy.
Teddy
Two Gloves, okay, but I mean, everything I hear from their camp is that Teddy Two Gloves is a guy who is a great mentor, can be there. Now, look, I think he'll fight for the position, but their GM keeps talking about how much he's in love with Drew Lock. It was just interesting seeing them
receivers, because the receivers don't talk like that at all.
No, don't talk like that.
If you talk to their receivers in Denver,
Drew Lock.
Yeah.
But just interesting seeing them take a corner and Patrick Surtain a second. I get that Vic Fangio is more of a defensive-minded coach. His core and the way he kind of builds out his team. It was just Justin Fields was there. And once again, I go back to that, a quarterback. I'm like, okay, he's there. All right.
Well, they made it clear. They made it clear.
Unless you get Aaron Rodgers.
If I'm running, if I'm John Elway in Patton, I'm running it back like I did with Peyton Manning. I'm gonna take your trash. You don't want Aaron Rodgers?
Oh yeah.
Let's pick up the phone.
Yeah, I got a defense good enough.
I can send you Drew Lock, send me Aaron Rodgers, and I can send you the next 6 years of my first round picks, and I don't care. You want Von Miller too? You can have him too.
Wow, 6 years?
I'm gonna give
up the
I
house.
might give you the franchise.
Yeah.
The house.
Because I know I'm betting on him to get me at least one.
Right.
I'm going to get
there
at
are
least
limitations
one.
on
It feels like
what you
they're
can do
all
with
in
draft
with that.
picks, but
I'm gonna give you
you're
whatever
being
I can
dramatic.
give
You're
you.
basically saying, right,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you
whatever it
whatever it
takes.
takes.
Yeah, no matter what, as they say. All right, well, it's interesting. I mean, again, the winners and losers, no doubt about it, is something that is.
Who's your winners and losers?
I mean, you guys are pretty much on point on that. I mean, the
Jets a winner
the
or
winners.
loser?
I feel
Jets
like
won.
I feel like the
feel like they
winners.
won.
Chicago wins. The Niners win. They move up and they get the guy that they're absolutely in love with. That is an aggressive move that they made, and they look and everybody is looking at that as is perfect. There's no pressure to start him right away. This feels like a Mahomes type situation for the Niners, right? Like in a year, and they'll still be a Super Bowl contender. I mean, that's clearly a winner.
Let me ask you guys this: Cincinnati, winner or loser? I know the talent, Jamar Chase, is incredible.
That one was weird, but again, how much did they include Joe Burrow? When did they even talk to him? Maybe they said to him, "What do you think of him? Do you love him?"
Of course they talked.
Right, of course. So, and if he
Of
gushed and said, "No, I love that guy," we read each other. Then you do it because you figure out I'll get offensive linemen from other people, right?
But Penny Sewell was supposed to be legendary.